It's the first Monday of December, the last month of 2024. Welcome one, welcome all to Jasiri, your space for bold ideas, transformative conversations, and the kind of energy that powers progress. Now, as the year winds down, it's a perfect time to reflect, refocus, and reignite our determination to shape a brighter tomorrow in 2025. And today, we're diving into stories and strategies that challenge the status quo and move us closer to a future built on resilience and equity. So grab whatever you need to grab, lean in, and get ready for a conversation that will set the tone for a purposeful December. Now, ladies, since that is out of the way, how was the weekend?
Why would you say purposeful December when it's supposed to be a fun December?
Your purpose is fun. Your purpose is dirty December. Or shall purpose about the purpose?
Well, it was just too academic. And I hate the fact that you look so pretty with your hair. That's just so, it's a lot.
It's a lot to take on a Monday.
I love the fact that African women can live in their power. There was a time in our lives, even as presenters, that they would not allow you come with your natural tresses. Yeah. But now I'm seeing a lot of us pushing the envelope. I'm like, what's not beautiful about it? Let's not become like some people that just would only lean into foreign culture.
But you know, it's funny enough, even though her hand went in that direction, but anyway, about 2 years ago, I remember somebody wanted to join News Central from a different station. And one of the questions she asked in interview was, what was our hair policy? It's like, our hair policy. I was like, I don't understand. She said, because where she is, they're only allowed to do straight weave, straight, whatever is human hair, whatever, straight wigs. I said, oh really? Oh no, we're Africa first. So Africa first means even the ladies, whether it's the dreads, it's a low cut, it's wigs, it's braids, it's whatever it is, it's Didi. We embrace it all because that is how you can show truly that especially for women, how proud we are of Africa. And she's still where she is, but it's all right.
I love that. Yes. Anyway, my weekend was very eventful. I was on a terrible set. I still am. You know, there are just some jobs you take and you're like, God, why did I do this to myself?
But seriously, why did you do that?
But you would never know. You would never know because they would just engage you. You know how they do? You put a call through, send you a script, and it's a great script. In fact, they had razzmatazz. They sent me biscuits, chocolates, and everything to bring my script.
You can't win.
So I actually felt it was going to be like, but me and all the grades down, Segun Arize, Ojefua, Kelechi Degbe, all of us are traumatized. I just want to be done. Then
I'll start looking out for a movie that has you, Segun Arize, and I'll be like, that's a terrible.
No, people are calling me. When they want to do publicity, I am not there. I am not among of it. Because I don't know if I'll be proud of it. And on Sunday, I hosted a celebration. And one thing struck me is that now we have other brands besides music that people actually resonate with. Do you know how many thousands of people thronged Moyokola yesterday? I would see at a music concert. But now we're seeing food concerts. We're seeing lifestyle concerts. We're seeing fairs. And everything is packing, a crowd. People are actually
baby conventions.
And it's very, very, very interesting to see. I enjoyed being on stage and I looked really fabulous. But one thing that everybody could say, oh, you're so pretty. I was in my pretty girl zone. They kept stopping me like,
we have to stop asking how was your weekend.
Auntie. I was like,
for everybody.
No, it was really nice.
No, but it's nice.
No, I wouldn't lie to you. I knew I was in the younger crowd, but they were so courteous. I felt really good. I cannot lie to you. I did.
Happy for you. I mean, my weekend was great. I don't know if I should say I felt bad or I felt good, but I was able to attend a wedding, one of my friends' wedding, and they did not believe I was going to come.
Why?
So I didn't like that. That was the impression.
Because of your character?
No, my character.
Okay.
Because there's always work to do.
Something you
And then
do.
I decided that I was going to go. Up until the moment that I got there, they still didn't believe I was going to come. And she was like, oh my God, you came. I felt good. I felt bad at the same time. I'm like, I need to do better. But I mean, I'm feeling very pumped up, honestly, because it's a new day, it's a new week, it's a new month, and it's almost a new year. I'm so excited. Yeah, that's how my weekend went.
My weekend was okay. I think I wanted to rest a lot this weekend.
It shows on your face there.
I succeeded in investing. We don't rest enough. And I think something I saw on social media triggered that rest because there was a young girl, very, very calm and sober, and she said her mother died because she was stressed.
Oh, I saw it. Was it not me that?
Yeah,
I know. You had seen it, yes.
I saw it.
And I don't know, it hit me. Let me not say resonated. I think it hit me that we don't intentionally, you know, we say it on this table, we have to intentionally take our time to rest.
Yeah.
Sometimes you work a lot and before you know it, you just keep pushing.
Yeah.
So when I saw that, I said, I think I listened to this by way of maybe I sensed it in the universe or something, but I just said, it's time to just pause. I wasn't near my phone at all. It was like yesterday evening that I began to respond a lot to things. So I think sometimes we have to, and as we approach the end of the year, I think it's very sobering for people. I woke up, it was the 1st of December. It wasn't panic. It was like reality that listen, Christmas is in
This year was way too fast.
and we're approaching the end of the year, and I'm not one of those that says, okay, where I'm coming from, this is where I'm going to, like New Year resolutions. But I think it's out of
for babies.
But it's just that reality that Jesus, the
It is over. It's almost over.
and I think it's hit everybody like that.
Yes,
sometimes.
And I'm very excited because a lot of lights will come on, and you know, to become that alone just keeps the
Hopefully
atmosphere
cheerful.
I have a friend who doesn't like. I think it's too much
light?
emotions for him. Like he likes Christmas to quickly come and go. No, he's Nigerian.
Are you sure something didn't happen around Christmas when he was younger?
Maybe it's a trauma response.
It's a trauma
might be a
response.
trauma response.
The fact that I can even
don't
smell
see it.
Hamatan, I love it.
I can't feel like I can see it.
So Lua, is your house not dirty?
I'm not feeling
No,
it.
Hamatan is
and
everywhere.
everywhere
If you come from where
the
I
cars.
come from,
Oh.
by this time you'll be wearing like 2 jackets. That's what I miss about my state.
Oh,
Yeah.
you mean Kogi State?
Kogi State. Where you
Former
are.
governor, yeah.
Okay.
So you know what? Let me quickly say this thing you said about the lady who talked about her mom passing away. There was another video I saw this weekend that talked about the fact that a lot of autoimmune diseases are within women. Women account for a larger majority of autoimmune diseases because for some reason we tend to hold stress more. We're doing for everybody. We're doing for our families. We're doing for our children. We're doing in workplace. And it feels like there's just never an opportunity for us to put down the cape and rest. And I remember seeing my mom. We call my mom Hurricane Debbie, Hurricane Deborah, because she's always going. But I was like, that was one part of you I'm not going to take. Yes. I will not take that part. And somebody sent me to the spa yesterday. I went to the spa, got a facial, got waxing. I'm like, even though I screamed. But anyway, I realized that next year, my personal goal every month is one spa session, one massage, one facial a month, because I cannot come and kill myself unless I recharge and pour into myself. I don't have to give people and pour into them if I'm not taking care of myself. So ladies, everybody out there, find the things that bring you joy. If it's a movie date with yourself once a month, if it's just once a month, you go out and eat by yourself. Leave the kids at home, they won't die. Leave the kids with the husband, they won't die. And do for you.
And please, even if it's quarterly, check your blood pressure.
That's
Go to
another
the
thing.
hospital.
Yes.
As you're planning the spa, go to it will surprise you. I mean, we're not praying for it, but you can save your life by going to the hospital. Just tell them, run a
Coming from a Gen Z.
Honestly, I was at an event last week. I was at an event last week, and they were talking. So they were talking about, it was a tech event, but then the panel session was life outside work. And God, when they were talking about health, see, I started having heart palpitation. Because I'm like, oh my God. Because the lady just kept giving statistics of people who just fall down and die just because they don't have, get a blood pressure money. And I'm like, after that event, while I was there, I just messaged my doctor. I'm like, I'm coming to you. I didn't even ask whether you're around.
Listen,
I'm coming to
let's
you.
just go and
run
find
a
out
photo.
everything.
That's important.
We heard from the ladies. I'm in my pretty girl era.
And pretty girls take care of themselves.
Snap at it.
All right. So let's see if the president agrees with the pretty girl era.
Oh my God, Catherine, take us
Catherine,
there.
come on.
You had to spoil this bubble we're living. 2nd of December.
Our leader, let me echo what our leader
The daddy of the nation wants to speak, and you people
our
are misbehaving.
daddy, I don't know how to say it in Yoruba. Daddy Wa, is that it?
Yeah. Daddy Wa.
Daddy Wa, President Bola Tinubu says we're living a fake life before now. Okay. Wait now. Let me give you details. So Tinubu spoke at the 34th and 35th convocation ceremonies of the Federal University of Tech, Akure in Ondo State. He said the country when he took over is not the same as now. Represented, of course, by the Vice Chancellor of the University of Ilorin, Professor Olashunpo Egbewole.
Detroit.
Here's what he said, the president said. Okay, so we took the baton of authority at a time when our economy was nosediving due to heavy debts from fuel and dollar subsidies. Now, these subsidies meant to support the poor ironically made life harder for the average Nigerian. The good life we thought we were living was a fake one, capable of leading the country to total collapse unless urgent strategic efforts were taken. That's the end of quote. So the president defended his administration's removal of fuel subsidies, unification of exchange rates as critical moves to stabilize the economy despite the short-term challenges. But he also said further, and I quote, "I'm glad to inform you that the results of these policies are already yielding the expected outcomes. The macroeconomy of our country is improving daily, and the microeconomy, which directly impacts citizens, is also taking shape with positive results." End of quote. And that's it. I had to just share that.
Are we living in the same country? No, maybe I'm not aware.
No, it's what my daddy. It's what the daddy of the
impact that is
it's what
making.
daddy was.
Or maybe it's lost on me, or maybe I'm
So
too
you
poor.
know, like people are not happy. I think it's the use of fake life as a phrase in this quote or in this statement, and people are very, very unhappy what the president has said, saying that before now we're living a fake life. Basically, we're just living on vibes and inshallah.
I'm telling you.
But you're now saying that we're living reality, and to a point I understand. But I think sometimes because people are so frustrated and angry, anything he says or anything coming from the government is already it scratches their body and comes with coloration. But also there's a way in which you say it. So you're saying that we're living a fake life before, and that was because of the subsidies and all the other things that we're doing. We're just patchy and making it look good.
And it's unfortunate.
But people will tell you that during the time we're living the fake life, they were able to afford rice. That living standard was a bit higher, and the cost of things were not so expensive. So if you say fake life versus reality of now, a lot of Nigerians will be like, take me back to the fake life.
I just want to know, now that you have said that, okay, we're in better times and things are looking up, I just wanted to see where the tilt and the incline is. Maybe I am not seeing it from my side of the room, but
so
where is
that's
the positive results?
It's subjective. It's based on perspective. It's standing in a place where whatever he sees looks brighter. It's not standing where we're standing. It says we were leaving a
stand where we're standing sometimes.
It'll be almost impossible.
Reality. That's the truth.
It'll be almost impossible.
So he says we were living
none of
a
us,
fake
like,
life. Now we're living a
Instagram.
nightmare. And they're not a part of it. That's the sad reality. So whatever he's saying is, I won't say it's delusion because that's their own reality. It's not our reality.
Wow.
That's why they say gets you a leader that can feel the pulse of the people. Apparently, we've lost that in this country.
Have we had that for a while though?
For where?
We haven't had that for a while.
The pulse?
Yeah.
Are they even checking it?
There's no pulse. No.
Because now I don't think we have pulse in Nigeria. If it's Chinese medicine, do you know Chinese traditional medicine? Every sickness is from your pulse. Oh. They check your pulse. And now that we have no pulse, maybe.
So the thing is, I don't know who advises our government on statements to make, but it's looking like it's a copy and paste
Is that your
situation
guy?
where your
That your
statement.
sweat guy.
No, which one? Which one? They send that one alone now. Away now.
Yeah, that one has gone now. So it's more like a copy and paste situation where you're using the template of the statement from other countries, but you have to be able to reason with the people, even if you don't intend to do anything about it. Your statement should be considerate, should be tailored to the needs of the people that you govern.
And also empathy.
But also, are we saying that we don't want to face reality? Because let's not forget that everybody has agreed for the longest time that subsidy must go, and that Nigeria was spending money anyhow. So so it's like, do we not want to make the changes? So somebody referenced this morning that if we had removed subsidy when Jonathan mentioned that subsidy must go, was it 2012, 2011? We have settled in, things would have been different. The dollar naira ratio would have been different and all that. But we still somebody had to do it.
It's okay. I understand that. Somebody had to do it. But you don't have to do it 100 like that without giving Nigerians a soft landing, palliatives, without being sensitive. You don't just rip off the bandage like that with nothing. That's what I don't think we are angry that subsidy left or subsidy was taken out. I think what bites our bodies as Nigerians is that you just do it without thinking. You take it off like that. So the ripple effects and all of that, how do you expect Nigerians to navigate through all of that?
Oh my God,
It's a
I
solid
love
problem.
it when Catherine rests. Because she articulates with so much grace. After the break, we will turn our attention to Nigerian women. Yes, that's where we're going. We'll turn our attention to Nigerian women and the fight for representation. Our guest is Chevening scholar, social entrepreneur, GBV/SGBV/VAWG, and equality advocate, and also ran for the House of Representatives in 2023. Hawwah Abdullahi Gambo joins us after the break. Don't go away.
You're still watching Jasiri, and right before we get into our conversation, we want to go to our news correspondent who is in South Africa for the South Africa by
That.
I'll give the full details in a moment, but there's of course a commission. Let's go to Bongani Sisiba right now. Let's just get an idea of the events we're hoping to join any moment. Bongani, good morning to you. So we'll get to our correspondent after this, but this is the 11th by National Commission, the Nigeria-South Africa Bi-National Commission, the 11th one to be co-chaired by President Bola Tinubu as well as South African President Cyril Ramaphosa. We're going to that live now.
Consulate General of South Africa in Lagos, Professor Bobby Morrell, the Consul General, Consulate General of Nigeria in Johannesburg, Ambassador Omar Bashir, the Comptroller General of the Nigerian Immigration Service, Ms. Kenny Nana Nandep, and the Comptroller General, Nigerian Customs Service, Dr. Adewale Adeniyi. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, from the outset, I'd like to appreciate the government and people of the Republic of South Africa for the hospitality and warm courtesies extended to myself and to our entire nation since arrival. Also, Honorable Ronald Lamola, and to congratulate the government of the Republic of South Africa for the successful holding of the ongoing 11th session of the Nigeria-South Africa Bi-National Commission, which holds a lot of promises for the future of our bilateral relations. I am proud to recall that since the establishment of this all-important Bi-National Commission in 1999, the relations between our two brotherly countries have grown in leaps and bounds. With the achievements recorded so far, this current session has further provided the impetus for exploring wide-ranging opportunities and benefits that would be mutually beneficial and long-lasting. It is my pleasure, therefore, to participate in the BNC for the very first time. The current meeting, being the 11th session, signifies that we have had 10 regular meetings of this nature where we identified and targeted several areas of cooperation and partnerships that have helped to reposition our countries as the two leading economies in Africa. Although I may be new to this process, the import and strategic nature of Nigeria-South Africa bilateral relations is not lost on me at all. It is not about familiarity, fondness, or friendship. It is a fraternity and a bond built on years of association, mutual respect, confidence, and belief in the uniqueness of our common destiny as natural leaders on the continent. I must commend the Honorable Minister, the senior officials for their doggedness and untiring efforts in producing the agreed meetings of the working groups, as well as the communique which we are going to be looking at today, and which we shall pass on to our principals tomorrow. The long hours and efforts you have put into it show how far patriotism and love for your fatherland can drive you. But we are not done yet. Let us keep the spirit high until we cross the finish line. My brother, Your Excellencies, I must stress that Nigeria is prepared to explore new vistas of cooperation with the Republic of South Africa on various fields. Apart from exploring opportunities in the co-financing of infrastructural projects capable of benefiting our two economies, we are seeking collaboration with South Africa in capacity development, in the area of certification of Nigerian mining geologists and other professionals in that field. To this end, we have prepared a draft MOU for the consideration of South Africa. We hope that the derivable benefits from this arrangement would help to enhance the capacity of our mining professionals to become globally competitive. As earlier indicated, our project, this project, the BNC, owes a lot of promises for the future of Nigeria-South Africa relations, and we have got many more miles to go. Let us therefore approach it with zest and faith. Together, we shall win for our respective countries and for Africa. I look forward to working alongside my co-chair, Honorable Lamola, to make today's proceedings and that of our principals tomorrow a resounding success. I thank you all.
Thank you so much. May we please give another warm round of applause to our Honorable Minister. Thank you, ministers, who are very anxious as senior officials to present the work of the many hours of hard work in the past days. This brings us to the end of the opening session, and I would like to invite the media to now leave so that we proceed to the closed session, which is the consideration of the report.
We look forward to reconnecting with the 11th biannual Nigeria-South Africa National Commission, Bi-National Commission event as it is happening right now. We, of course, have seen Nigeria's Minister of State, I believe it is, Bianca Ojukwu, there represented. We know that the President, Bola Tinubu, also is there and will be co-chairing a session of the event later with South African President Cyril Ramaphosa. Now, we do apologize. The conversation we were expected to bring to you, we have to have rescheduled that because of the event, but we still have some conversation we can definitely give you. And that conversation is one that it was just really quite interesting as someone who graduated from a private university, and I think the sort of debates we have about private and public universities in Nigeria. And just a few days ago, the Academic Staff Union of Universities flagged the number of first-class graduates that private universities are producing. ASU's national president, Professor Emmanuel Oshodeke, said that if public universities adopt the same practice without regulation, it could lead to the decline of genuine academic pursuits. Now, according to him, primary and secondary schools nowadays are producing graduates with excellent grades and insufficient knowledge. And I think there's something definitely that has a few interesting complexities to it. So ASU says private universities are graduating too many first-class graduates. What do you ladies think?
I never heard anything like that before. Graduating too many first class.
Too many.
So are they saying that it's easy?
Or are they saying that it's fake?
But do you know that in the past for me, I would say that, getting your thesis or your projects done was more difficult in our own time.
Yeah, because there was no
because we had to
internet,
sit in libraries, But now, Google is your friend. If you're a very astute student and you know how to pull materials from everywhere, you can actually have, a more robust educational
And I strongly,
research
I strongly
knowledge.
believe that if there is better structure and the what's it called now, the lecturers are willing to, when I say willing, it's deliberate, because the school I went to, there are lecturers who will tell you, I don't give you 80%.
That is what I
From
was
80
going
to
to
100
get
is
at.
for God. Whatever else you want, no matter the excellence you have, is from 80 downwards. So it's now whether 70 or 75. So there are people like that. There are people who you have to pay. So I believe that if the private universities are better structured, and it's not even all, right? If the learning environment is more conducive, then people would excel. Why do we have to make it so difficult? You don't have to regulate nothing because it's not fake. It happens. You see these schools where would I say highbrow schools, or that they're high caliber children. Which we had a girl here in the studio on breakfast. Was it last year or 2 years ago? We're still in the former office.
Okay.
We had two girls. We interviewed them. I think
From secondary schools, they came top in their exams.
I don't know how many countries, but they came top in their exams. And when you check the school, you see that over 20 of the students did excellently well. Because they had good, conducive learning environments. We don't have to make anything tough for ourselves.
It's just an old school mentality. I think some of these professors just have these. They want to make it like a cult thing. That for you to get entrance into this, you have to be over and above. I believe that there's just. It's not an impossible task. Look at how accessible it is to get research materials. In our own time, there's some books that is only one in the country.
I went to visit my daughter in boarding, and I noticed a lot of things, and this is secondary. And she was saying that her physics test, the OBJ was a bit problematic, objectives. And I asked her why. And she said they didn't have enough time. So you see, from this level, I'm not using that as a yardstick, but since Bessie said, private institutions at secondary level, tertiary, they have upped the ante. And most of them, if you're trying to get students to stay in the country and study, you're going to try and create that environment that is almost like they're out of the country. So she said the time was not enough because they're teaching them to be quick and accuracy. Not that you don't know what you're doing, but the time, they're quick. So if you have children like that graduating on secondary level and entering tertiary, why would you think that first class is so unattainable?
And it's this same country that boasts of Nigerians going to other countries and doing well academically. So because we have it in us. If we had better structure, if we had better lecturers who are not selfish, and I'm saying that because this school I went to, I saw a lot of them. A lot of them. You don't even want to
Yes, I agree.
But the point that Blessings made about whatever 80 to 100, I mean 90 to 100 is for God. And
what kind of mentality
it's absolutely rubbish mentality.
Exactly.
And you find out that people are not the better for it. And these professors or lecturers who are holding on to these extra grades that they know people deserve, it does nothing for you. You develop a reputation, but what does it do for your life? What does it change?
It makes you you put in that state of, in that godlike state.
If you're writing, the exams we write in Nigeria, the GCE, SSCE, you find that there's some exams you write because you've done so well, or a child does so well, a student does so well, you can withhold the result because you're first of all suspecting. Why would you first of all suspect? Do you think that we don't have brainy enough children who are studying in the country that can perform well academically?
So I think in terms of this, ASU is on the wrong side of this particular conversation. It's not because it feels like you're saying either private universities or private varsities are making life too easy for students, that you don't think that the number of students that are graduating deserve to have the first class you're seeing. One. Secondly, you're also saying that your professors, that a lot of people for many, many years have been flagging are the ones who are really able to give first class because, you know, you put the students through tough times.
Or maybe it's bitterness from the government.
It feels like a bit of, so it feels like a bit of bitterness, but I want us to go, I'll go back and then I'll go for it. I want us to go back to something he said about graduating secondary school students with excellent grades and no knowledge. There's not a lie there. Because we've talked about the level of education gap. And I keep talking, I think, I don't understand if people get over 70% of 7 to 14-year-olds lack basic reading and math skills. If you're 7 to 14 and over 70% lack basic reading and math skills, and then you move them and they somehow graduate and you move them to university, they're not going to learn in university.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they just keep becoming, somehow they pass, somehow some don't. And then they come into the workforce. So I said I went back, I'm going to go back. Now I'm forward. We now bring them to the workforce. People like me have to do interviews. I have to read scripts that people write. And I look at it, I'm like, what is going on? In all honesty, when we talk about the educational crisis, I don't think we really see the fact that people don't understand simple noun-verb agreements. People don't know what an adjective is. A lot of people don't know when to capitalize. They don't know what a proper noun is.
Don't lose your train of thought. I was on a thread on social media, Instagram, and somebody was she was so excited to share what she wanted to share, and she was backgowing all through. Then somebody took the time to correct the backgowing and was saying this present continuous because plural goes with plural, because that does, and this and that. And do you know the comments under it? Nigerians will not try. They came for us. So in all of this, your own is to come and underline red pen in the error she's making. Do you know? As in, they just were attacking her. Someone who's saying that exige, tu exiges plus. C'est que plus de ce que tu as donné. You are demanding for the person to give more because of what you expect. You don't go school now. Why can't you just blend your sentences and your tenses? So I've always said I would love to hear from Tolu, since her office takes care of interacting with people. What's the weirdest and most shocking, or it can't be one, but what are the most...
There's so many.
There's so many. See, it even started in university, because even in university I was doing tutorials. So I'm a very proud person. So let me know I'll be proud. I graduated first in my department. Wow. I was second to my faculty. I missed first class by this small.
And we know why you know it.
Let's not talk about the why. Let's not talk about the why.
Does the doctor know the why?
He does not know the why. They don't need to know the why. I think like you know that thing where they say something will pass through the eye of a needle. That much.
Yeah, you have seen the result of those weekend lectures.
But they weren't wicked. I went to a private university. They didn't have a choice. I did the work and I came out top. But even in doing group tutorials and group sessions, I already saw it. It's a big problem. I had people in class with me who could not write well, who could not put sentences together, who could not do paragraphs. A basic paragraph is 5 sentences. You do a beginning, a middle, and an end. So I've seen it when I now do interviews, and I sometimes have to ask people to definitely send in maybe, let me say, a sample script or article you've written or something. Yeah. And I'm like, where is this going? It's going nowhere good, Catherine. No, it goes nowhere. Even in spoken English. And I'm not saying you need to speak like me, but
articulate
and I think that,
and be clear.
Yes, I think that our schools have become, and now I'm not saying that that's the reason that students are excelling, because I believe that if you up your curriculum and teach them properly, they will still excel. But I think that we have become so lax in the curriculum that we no longer teach history, we no longer teach proper English composition. I mean, even your teacher that will stand and be teaching you, we want to
say it's snacky.
It's a snake. I know we should even start from the very basics.
Your math teacher can speak good English.
I am more worried. You guys can talk about tertiary.
Okay, wait. Before you become more worried, let's go on a quick break. Seriously. We'll come back to this, and Lola will tell us why she's actually more worried. Stay with us. I didn't expect us to actually get into this conversation like this. But Lola, you wanted to say something.
Yes, you know, I'm thinking about the focus that we're all having on these tertiary institutions. That's even higher up. We're talking about the foundation. How about the foundation? I'm talking from nursery school to primary school, where we have dysfunctional teachers in some schools. Some of them do not even have the basic curriculum. They don't have the basics to even teach children. These are just people that, okay, they graduated from uni and they can't enter school. They can't get into a university. So
Dr.
they end up
Yes, remember
teaching.
Dr. Isa was a guest a few months ago, and she spoke about that we used to have NCE. Both my parents did NCE before, we tried and everything. So the NCE, and it was really, it was a thing of pride.
And do you know that a lot of people
just teach?
A lot of people think that you can still learn proper grammatic composition when you're in university. Once you're done with primary 6, highest JSS3. If you can't speak English, you can't speak English again.
You can't speak English again.
Except you now teach yourself, you reteach or learn and
those
relearn.
are the things that we need to focus, because the people that we churn out from nursery, and one day I was in a certain locality, I was hearing, the students echo the teacher. I was so scared. I had to ask the person that, is this a real proper school?
I remember you mentioned
so that's what
this,
they can afford. And those are the things, the proliferation of all these mushroom schools everywhere, it just keeps watering down our educational system. Not to even talk of schools that say they are Montessori and they don't even know what it means.
And on this private universities or private tertiary institutions first class, these kids go out and they are ambassadors for the school. So very quickly, let's be honest, we'll very soon know which schools are actually graduating real first-class students and not. But I want to go back to something you said, and I think I've made the point before and I'll make it again. I think we focus too much on university and tertiary school education. I think we need to focus on making sure the majority of students or the majority of people in Nigeria make it to the end of secondary school.
Yes.
And that is the education we focus on. And from there, because not everybody's going to get to university, not everybody's going to do polytechnics, some people are going into skill and trade. If you know how much skilled tradesmen are making outside of this country right now, but they want you to have the equivalent of a high school degree, which is secondary school education. Let's focus there, knowing that one, our universities are not enough to even cater for the number of students who are trying to enter, and knowing that also, secondly, our system is not necessarily looking for university graduates. We're also looking for skilled tradesmen and worksmen. So that means everybody coming out of secondary school needs to know how to write, to read, do math, be able to do their accounts. Just do the basics.
And these skills that she talked about, you see schools, and that's why I'm very big on curriculum, and I'm saying it again. You see schools where you say, oh, the boy is bright, he's skilled, he can use Introtech, he can use the things, he's very good with math, but the English doesn't really matter if it's good. No, it matters because when he's applying for a job, the background that is background is going to hold him from getting
I
the
told
job.
you guys off air that somebody sent me a DM and wanted me to be her mentor. The whole DM was riddled with abbreviations. It's either GD for good morning, it's
morning,
MORN. It was the whole please be my mentor was just abbreviations. I replied to her, and I know that James will like it. I said, please, if it is me that you're asking to be your mentor, please rewrite this letter in proper English. And when you're done, you shouldn't send it to
smart
me.
enough to know that.
No.
And so it's in everything. It's in everything they do now. It is in their what's that thing? It's in their projects.
The value.
Talk to some lecturers.
You see,
they're
the
doing
value.
abbreviation inside projects.
Yes, the value that we place on education is not the same. When we were growing up, there were some things that were necessary that had to be done. But right now, nobody is even looking at the nitty-gritty of anything.
No one's looking. Parents are busy.
Looking.
Lecturers
Parents are busy. Lecturers are doing their own.
Teachers are interested in private lessons.
They're always selling handouts to the students. Gone are those days that lecturers are talking and you're taking notes to be able to form your own notes, to be able to, think through what you are being taught in the class. That's why I'm like, if your children are still going to public schools, you have to subsidize, supplement with some additional training. I'll never remember when Aino was writing WAEC. I had to write WAEC with Aino twice because when she came to me, she had the barest minimum. She could not even articulate at all. But I knew that if you put your heart to work, it took us collaborating. She was going for private lessons, and I was still teaching, and we're still working at it. She did the WAEC twice. And now she's a graduate of accounting. So there is nothing impossible to do.
Absolutely.
If we truly put value where we want the value to be. Now you see a lot of people who wave the fact that you articulate. Do you know there are some places I'll speak? They're like, English.
Yes.
I'll be like,
I got that a lot. I got that a lot.
They say that a lot.
I still envy when Tolu speaks. I'm trying to enunciate the way she does all blessings. Because Language is our tool of trade.
And it's not about accents.
It's not accent.
We need to read ourselves, both the lecturers, teachers, and the students. This mentality that school is just to learn and pass your exams, and once you drop your last paper, you're done. Because that's the mindset.
Yes.
In the workplace now, if you're sending a mail to your HR, send it as a mail, as a letter. That's why you learn to write letters.
So you know how many people don't know how to do a basic letter again?
There's a reason for that, because if you're
You don't know
applying for
salutation,
things,
best regards, thank you, ma.
You will now be asking that, didn't you? You were working, right? Like you'll be applying maybe for an international opportunity, and they ask you to write a letter, and you start panicking. Then you will be asking, did you not do workplace? Do you get?
I never used to write letters in my time.
idea.
I've always been an essay kind of girl. I've always written stories. So if they're going to tell us to write, you know, they will either give you a letter, a formal
I'm not big on letters,
letter,
but when it comes to like, you know, workplace, I use that as an opportunity. I'm like, okay, so how is letter? Because I'm trying to refresh my memory. But a lot of people just be like, SOP. HR SOP.
And then the
BRB, DTYL.
Then they lay it on the terms of Gen Z.
One of my sons wrote me something. I will not lie to you. I could not read half of it. I said, what is YWD? He said, what do you do or something?
I remember the day someone sent me a happy birthday message, and then I now saw Wolump.
What's
And I asked my friend, I said, what's Wolump?
Something long life and
Wishing you long life.
wishing you long life and prosperity.
HBD Wolump.
BBBT. And I saw this funny thing that a doctor did recently, where a patient came into the office and they had to call another Gen Z person to translate he was sick. They say, oh, doc, you know, I'm just feeling.
My health is not given.
It's not given. And I was like, okay, who's not giving about health? I'm like, is this the level that we're? It might be funny
It's
now,
terrible.
but it's still ricocheting into the future. The future that we keep thinking that these youths would have. Imagine the presidents, the heads of department. I encourage my daughter every day to take leadership roles because this forces you to become better.
Put together.
I said, if you cannot write a proposal, then what do you want the rest of the people behind you to do? I don't expect people to do it for you. Do it for yourself.
And you
when she
learn in the
finishes, I'll read over, then I'll correct. She still does it. Oh no, mommy, please let me look through that.
That's the way to go.
I said, I'll now correct, help her write something.
You know, I told you guys, Corday did essay. I made that girl write the essay like 3 or 4 times.
Yes.
But mommy, why? But mommy, why? I said, if you are my daughter, you're gonna do it well.
Because I know
and then she came second in her school, and they took them on a trip. I said, do you see yourself now?
They were teaching them the value of hard work.
Listen, there's so many things we need to relearn, unlearn. This thing of everybody must go to tertiary institution, university, it's a conversation.
That's a separate conversation. Because in Nigeria, they are not well educated, though, but they still think that they are better off for.
You tell somebody your child does not go to university,
for some jobs.
Say it in Yoruba, your child is a plumber. What's the next thing you say?
Yes, Ibajeni.
Aside from the tertiary conversation, it's also a dignity of labor conversation.
Yes.
We do not think that certain jobs deserve respect.
Yes.
Or dignity.
Is it not
we got a lot of work to do.
Economic hardship that people are driving?
We gotta go.
Okay, take us away.
We gotta go. That's as much we can take. But anyways, I'm gonna learn how to write English and speak English. I don't want to say no Lopo. But the next time you wish me happy birthday, I don't know what that means. I don't want to say YD. What WYD?
What is it?
For myself and the ladies, bye.
We made it.